First, what we're going to do is we're going to set up some guidelines. So I'm going to go to the front view here and create a few lines. 0 and oops, what's going on? 5, 0. And then I'm going to offset. And I think the stool is supposed to be like 18 inches or something like that. So I'm just trying to give myself some reference lines here. So that's 18. And let's go to another 0. Oops. I'm typing 0, by the way. And then, so that this will act as my center line of the stool. And then that'll be kind of roughly the height. And let's take a look at, let's give ourselves some dimensions. So if this is 18, I'll probably say this is also probably 18, you know, from this edge to that edge. So let's go ahead and offset this line 9 inches to either side. So here's my kind of my stool. It actually seems like it should be a little bit wider. Huh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna make them wider. I'm gonna make an offset of 10. It just looks a little bit too narrow for me. And this is another thing, you know, as a designer, you guys are making these judgment calls, right? So, okay, yeah, so I'm gonna go like that, like that. Okay. Good deal. So let's come down here to the top view. And I have my series of lines here. Let's start off with the rectangle first. So if I start my rectangle at 0, and then if I say it's 10-inch wide, so let's just go 10 by 10 for now. 10 by 10. And then it'll be 18 inches tall. So take a look at my numbers here and enter to accept. So I have kind of my rough, ooh, is that 18 inches? Let's take a look. So clearly I think I put in, I thought I put in 18 inches, but I think it came up to be only 10 inches tall. But no worries, we should be able to adjust that. And then I'm just going to click on that blue arrow and just say 8 inches. So there you go. So basically what I have here is that here's a stool coming this way. So I'm going to keep this surface and that surface. So I'm going to select this and middle mouse button click, explode, and I'm going to get rid of these guys. Oh, not that guy. And I am definitely going to freehand it. So anyway, so here's one side of my stool, which is, here, let me go in here, which is this side right here, this L shape right here is what I have. So now I'm just going to freehand sculpt this thing. So I have this one singular surface, right? These two surfaces aren't connected. Then I can rebuild. So I'm going to take 5 by 5. I like odd numbers. And then I'm going to have a degree 3 curve, which is a compound curve. And I'm going to say OK. And then F10 to expose the little dots. And I am looking at this guy here. So what I want to do is maybe move these guys. Oops. Ah, get away. Maybe take these guys and pull it out. And then let's go this way. Then I'll just take, get away. So I'm just selecting these 3 dots and pulling it out just a little bit more. Just trying to give you this little curvature, and I think I'm okay with that. You know, you could go ahead and start to select these individual dots. Actually, I'll probably take these 2 and just pull that out just a little bit, just to give it a nice little curve. Maybe these 2 guys are sticking out too much. And then you notice on this guy here, it starts to radius. We're going to handle that radius at another time, but in the meantime, we are going to just bring it down a little bit, because I'm going to just do a radius from there to there. We're going to curve it. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, I think that's going to be good for now. And then now let's do the seat portion of it. So I'm going to select that. Go to rebuild. Again, 5 by 5. I'll take it. And in this one, it's just really a subtle vertical. So I'm going to take these 3 guys and kind of nudge it up. These 2 guys, nudge it up. And this guy I'll pull up and back just to give it a tighter. It's probably easier to do it here. Yeah, I think this is too high. So they get a nice little seat base here. Maybe this guy gets pulled just so that that curve is much tighter. Yeah, and this is where you can use your design eye, right, to kind of figure out what kind of curve you want. So pretty much now you guys are getting into kind of surface modeling here. Let's actually take, I'm trying to not change these 2 edges so that Rhino knows what to do, or at least gives me a clean fillet later on when I fillet that. So if I move this guy, I'm going to move both of these together because it'll be affected. So I'm trying to figure out a good, here I'm going to actually move that together too. I'm also looking to make sure that Rhino has enough room to give me a really nice clean transition, right? So maybe I'll just take it up to here, like I'm looking at this grid right here, and I'll pull these guys back up to there so that it's just, it gives me a nice little tight curve. I do want to drop that a little lower. I think that's looking pretty good, guys. Yeah, and then the front actually bends down a little bit here, it seems like. So I'm going to take maybe I'm going to go to my wireframe so I can see all of this. So I'm going to take these guys and shift these guys, pull it down just a bit. So you can see it's curving downwards. And then let me take these 2 guys. Oh, that's my dog, so please excuse the video. And push it down. I kind of pushed it down a little bit more aggressively just so that you guys can see the difference. But yeah, you can see it's coming down a little bit. All right, so now here's the pudding on the cake. I'm kind of looking it over. I think overall, I think the points and everything looks like they're in the places where I want them. All right, so now we're gonna start to do some surface editing. So I have 2 individual surfaces, this guy and that guy. And so we're gonna do what is called a blend surface command, which is down here. and it is this tool right here, blend surface. And I'm going to pick one edge. And really important, when I click here, like on this side, then I don't want you to click on this side. I need you to click on the same side. Just help Rhino as much as you can about what you want. You see how it kind of, you know, connects it in that area. And then I'm going to come here, and you have all of these nodes and control curves to blend those surfaces. So what we want is a curvature, meaning, hey, make it as smooth as possible. If you did position, it's going to lock in here and lock in here, and you'll get a crease because you're not giving Rhino much flexibility on how to adjust these curves. So I would just say take curvature, but oops, see. Shoot, sorry guys, I am pushing all kinds of key buttons that I shouldn't be. So let's do it again. Blend curve near the same area. Good deal. I like it. You know, you can adjust the curves accordingly like this. So if you come here to the front view, you can see curve 2. If that's 2, you know, if you want a little bit tighter, maybe this one should go up a little higher. All right, I'm going to take that, and you can see Rhino interpolates this surface to give you the smoothest transition possible. So this whole thing now, I believe I'm going to try, and of course I'm doing this live, so I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try to force Rhino to treat this as one surface. And let me rebuild. It won't let me do a rebuild here, but there is another tool. It's called the cage edit. So you guys are getting a full shebang right now. So what's going to happen right now is asking me to put something in a cage, right? So I'm going to pick this surface. It's going to be in a cage. So we're going to say click that, and we're going to click bounding box, and the coordinate system, we're going to take the default world, and then we want how many points, right? So I basically want 5, 5, and 5. So I'm going to go 5, 5. Oh, come on. So I want 5. Enter. 4, 5. So I just want 5 control points in X, Y, Z, and it's going to be at degree 3. Enter. So now if I click on this cage, if I click, this cage has points, right? So which is really cool, because now I could actually, I think I wanted to flare the bottom out, like these bottom. So I'm going to come in here and kind of select that way. And I'm going to select all of that by holding down Shift, and I'm going to just scale it in both directions. So you can see how that thing just kind of flares out. Maybe I want to pinch. Maybe I want to pinch this guy. So I'm going to select all the way across, and I'm going to pinch. And then maybe pinch these guys a little bit more. And then I'm gonna, and you know, you guys will get a feel for how many points you want to move. I'm gonna pinch these guys just a tad. So there you go. So I have a cage edited mesh. Let me make a copy of this. So this one doesn't have the cage, this one has a cage. Now cage is an independent object, so I can delete that, and then now I've released a cage mesh. So it's kind of trick. So now we are going to give it a thickness here. And again, you know, this is like one of many different techniques, but, oh, and I believe the bottom is kind of elevated here. There's some daylighting here. So how would I do that? I think I'm probably just going to cut it. I'm going to create a line somewhere here. Turn off ortho. I keep on doing a shortcut key for another command. And here I am going to overshoot and cut a little bit more, right? Because I don't want to try to snap it right onto that corner. I rather cut off a little bit more surface and bring it down. So, and then I'm going to go to my trim command. My cutting object is that. There you go. So then now the model has a slight daylight on the bottom. At least this one does, and not this one. I'll just delete that one for now so that we're not confused. So let's try to give it some thickness, and in this case I'm probably going to use offset surface. It's probably going to be the most sensible thing to do, and it's going to offset to the outside. Let me flip it to, oh, you see right here, this is where I'll be looking out for, like, make sure that we're not going to pinch too much. But anyway, the distance should be, I'll go 0.5. Actually, I think I'm going to go to the outside, because then there's no chance of it pinching or binding here. There you go. So there's the another version of this kind of Noguchi butterfly stool. Of course, you mirror this, and then you could add a little bar and a couple of these details on it, and it should look very similar to that. Okay guys, have fun doing the surface modeling, and again, if it looks like a cousin, I'm okay with it. I want you guys to practice different techniques of modeling, and this is a little primer into kind of surface modeling. We'll see you guys in the next demo.